Overthinking is the mind's Netflix autoplay. The next episode starts whether you want it or not, and by season 3, you barely remember what you were supposed to do. Epictetus warned, people are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. Give a traffic cone time and your brain makes a dragon. Here's the pattern that breaks the loop, clean and repeatable like a kata. Catch, cage, choose, commit. Catch the spiral the instant you feel it. Tight chest, runaway what-ifs, the cognitive fan whirring because you can't diffuse a bomb you won't notice. Cage the thought by compressing the hurricane into one plain sentence a sober friend would accept. Not, my life will collapse, but I'm afraid I'll look dumb if I share this idea. Language is a leash. Labeling shrinks monsters to house cats. Marcus Aurelius, it's your judgment, not the thing. Choose one tiny action fully under your control. Send a 2-line email, set a 10-minute timer, ask one clarifying question, place your shoes by the door, because Nietzsche's why needs a usable how, and the how should be embarrassingly small. Commit for 3 minutes, no heroics, then stop. The point isn't finishing the race, but regrounding the driver. Overthinking is imagination versus experience, and experience wins the moment you create it. Think Shinji in Neon Genesis Evangelion. Accept the cockpit, catch. Name the fear, cage. Pull one lever, choose. Let the mech move, commit. Inception. Cobb quits spinning the top and steps toward his kids. The Queen's Gambit. Beth plays the board in front of her, not the one in her anxiety. Stoics call it the dichotomy of control. Cognitive science calls it diffusion. Call it doing one true thing now. Borrow Tanjiro's breathing from Demon Slayer. When you catch, exhale once. When you cage, speak the sentence neutrally. When you choose, pick something faster than a tick-tock. When you commit, guard the timer like a samurai at the gate. Exceptions, this time is different. They'll judge me. I need the perfect plan, are the spiral negotiating parole. Every extra thought past cage must earn oxygen with a physical move. Need a shove? Into the Spider-Verse. Miles becomes Spider-Man by leaping, and the universe updates after, not before. Overthinking promises certainty and delivers delay. Catch, cage, choose, commit promises movement and delivers reality. Try it today on something safe. Answer the message. Write the ugly first line. Do one push-up. Ask one honest question. Anxiety is a fog that looks like a wall until you walk 3 steps. This won't make life a highlight reel, but it will give you ground to stand on, and ground beats clouds every time. Here's the endgame. Overthinking is not a bug in your life, it's a habit loop fed by attention, time, and uncertainty. And the way you starve it is by ritualizing catch, cage, choose, commit, until it becomes your nervous system's default under pressure. Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. So your job is to make reality louder than imagination. And that means building a skeletal structure around the pattern so it survives when you're tired, rushed, or scared. Start with anchors. Pick a physical gesture that means catch, like touching your wrist or placing your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Do it every time you feel the spin. Tight jaw, shallow breath, cascading what-ifs. Next, language discipline. Keep a pocket phrase for cage, e.g., name it plain. Then force your fear into one boring sentence without prophecy or mind reading. Third, create if-then micro-contracts for choose. If I stall more than 30 seconds, then I do one concrete sub-step I can finish before a song ends. Fourth, a hard perimeter for commit. 3 minutes on a timer, no judgment allowed during the sprint. After the bell, you may evaluate, but not before. William James called attention the taking possession of the mind, and we weaponize it here. Attention to the next right move, not the next right theory. Watch how this plays out in stories we love. In The Dark Knight, Bruce doesn't over-simulate justice. He picks a constraint, save who you can, now, and moves, then updates. In Interstellar, Cooper docks while everything screams impossible because physics cares about vector, not vibe.
In Naruto, shadow clones aren't just spectacle, they're parallelized action. Break the problem into clones of effort, not clones of thought. In Attack on Titan, the basement isn't opened by more conjecture, but a key and a staircase. 2 nouns, 1 verb. In One Punch Man, Saitama's joke is wisdom. A boring regimen beats a brilliant plan never begun. Lao Tzu whispers from 2,500 years away, "He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still." And mastery here is dull, repeatable, and undefeated. So, design friction against spirals. No phone in bed, no infinite scroll on the home screen, a written 3-item today even if I fail list that you must touch before inboxes and timelines. Build anti-loops. If a thought repeats 3 times without adding new data, it triggers movement by rule, not by mood. Establish decision floors. For everyday choices, lunch, gym, email, pre-commit a default because overthinking adores low-stakes arenas where it can cosplay as high stakes while your real life waits in the lobby. Kierkegaard said anxiety is the dizziness of freedom, so give yourself railings. Reduce degrees of freedom until the next step is obvious. 2 outfits, 1 time block, 1 metric. Skeptics will object, but what if I choose wrong? Camus answers, live to the point of tears, which is to say, live, then refine. Action reveals constraints that theory hides. Others will say, what if they judge me? Epictetus reminds you that other people's judgments belong to them. Your circle of control contains your effort and your values, not their reactions. And when catastrophe brain screams, this step is too small to matter, remember the Queen's Gambit. Competent chess is a sequence of small, principled moves made under imperfect information. The board rewards clarity, not clairvoyance. Create proof loops, and every day with a 90-second log. What did I catch? What did I cage? Which one thing did I choose? Where did I commit? Then write 1 sentence to tomorrow's self like a showrunner leaving notes for the next director. Keep emotional cool and handy. Box breathing before catch, a neutral voice for cage, a verb-noun pair for choose, send draft, tie shoes, open dock, and a kitchen timer for commit. Use contamination rules. If your cage sentence contains always, never, or mind reading, they think I'm, rewrite it until the 7th grader could fact-check it. When a spiral returns, deploy pattern stacking. Add a physical micro-win after the 3 minutes. Make bed, glass of water, 5 squats, so your body keeps the promise your mind doubts. And yes, protect your inputs. The algorithm sells you other people's highlight decisions without the hours of wobble and mess. Don't confuse their montage with your method. Wittgenstein said, "The limits of my language mean the limits of my world." So shrinking your catastrophe language literally shrinks the world where catastrophes can breed. You want mythic imagery? Picture Miles Morales stepping off the building. The leap isn't brave because he knows. He leaps and knowing follows. Picture Rocky running before he feels ready, because readiness is not a feeling but a dividend paid by motion. Picture the Matrix red pill, not as omniscience, but the courage to act without it. Now the final objection. Isn't action without full certainty reckless? Reckless is building a life in your head and dying in drafts. Disciplined action is 3 minutes of contact with the world, then feedback, then another 3. Repeat until your nervous system learns that reality is survivable. So, here is your mercilessly clear protocol for the next 7 days. Each morning, write 1 sentence defining a meaningful discomfort you've been avoiding. Run catch, cage, choose, commit on it before noon, log it at night. By day 3, you will notice the delay between thought and action collapsing. By day 7, you will have a small pile of humble, undeniable wins. Emails sent, reps done, truths spoken, plans started. Keep the pile visible because confidence isn't a pep talk, it's a museum of receipts. And when life spikes, rejection, uncertainty, conflict, return to the pattern the way a swordsman returns to stance. No flourish, just form. The point is not to kill thought, it's to dethrone it, so thought serves where it used to rule. And when your future self asks how you escaped the labyrinth, you won't say, "I found the perfect thought." You'll say, "I laid down a thread and walked." Because the cycle breaks exactly where your shoe meets the ground, and the sound it makes is small, steady, and free.